Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of our Reen English Channel podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Today's topic is something we talk about a lot with our students. Stop translating, start speaking in English. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yes, this issue is so common. People understand English, they learn grammar, they memorize vocabulary, but when it's time to speak, they freeze.
Exactly. They start translating every word in their heads, and the sentence collapses before it comes out.
It's like trying to do math while running. You can do both, but not at the same time.
And the worst part is that people think it's a problem with intelligence or fluency, but it's not. It's just a habit.
Right. A habit and a mindset. And today, we're going to talk honestly about why translating blocks your speech and how you can break that habit.
And we'll also share personal stories, because both of us went through this.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You weren't always the smooth English speaker people hear today.
I definitely wasn't, but let's start from the beginning. Emma, when you were learning a language, not English, but any other language, did you translate in your head?
Oh, totally. When I was learning French, I translated everything. I would hear a question, translate it to English, think of the answer in English, translate that answer to French, and by the time I opened my mouth, the conversation had already moved on.
I had the same experience learning Spanish. My teacher would ask, ¿Qué hiciste ayer? And my brain would scream. Okay, what did you do yesterday? Now say it in Spanish. Hold on.
And then you say something like, yesterday I eat food? And the teacher just nods slowly.
Exactly. So we understand our listeners very well.
The good news is that language learning doesn't require perfection. It requires participation.
Totally. And a big part of participation is giving yourself permission to speak imperfectly.
Yes, let's talk about that. Most people translate because they want to be correct.
They're scared of mistakes.
But the fastest speakers in any language are not the most correct ones. They're the most confident ones.
Absolutely. Confidence first, accuracy second. Actually, accuracy grows through speaking, not before speaking.
True. When we say stop translating, we don't mean never think.
We mean stop trying to speak perfect sentences before you speak.
Let the words come naturally, even if they're not perfect.
Like kids learning their first language. They don't translate, they experiment.
And they make mistakes all the time.
And nobody stops them. Nobody says, little baby, your grammar is wrong.
Exactly. But adults feel pressure. They think, if I say it wrong, I will look stupid.
And that fear becomes mental noise.
Yes, the noise that blocks fluency.
You know what translation is like? It's like having two apps open on your phone at the same time and trying to use both.
Yes, and the apps crash.
So the brain slows down. Speech becomes slower.
That's why people say, I can read English, I can listen to English, but I can't speak?
Because reading and listening are input skills. They don't require rapid sentence creation.
Speaking does. Speaking needs fast reaction. Translating destroys that speed.
And people don't realize this is a habit rather than a requirement. You don't need to translate.
You learned your first language without ever translating.
So you can do it again. The brain can think in English.
But you have to train that ability.
It's like training a muscle.
Let's imagine a real-life situation. You're at a cafe ordering coffee. The barista says, "What can I get for you?"
And in your mind, you start translating, what can I get for you? That means, what do you want? Okay, I want a latte. But do I say I want or can I have? Which is correct?
And while you're doing that, the barista is staring at you,
Waiting.
and you panic.
And then you say nothing, or you say it super slowly like, latte, please.
And afterwards you think, why was that so hard? I know how to say it.
Because the translation process created anxiety.
Exactly. But if you think directly in English, you just hear, "What can I get for you?" And you respond instantly.
No waiting, no process, just speaking.
Let's talk about training the brain.
The first habit, describe things around you in English.
Yes, don't translate, just describe. For example, you're walking to work. Don't think in your native language. Think, the weather is warm today. The streets are quiet. That car is loud. Simple thoughts.
The point isn't to say perfect sentences. The point is to use English as your thinking tool.
Your inner voice is powerful. If your inner voice is in English, speaking becomes natural.
And translation doesn't even appear.
Let's talk about fear again, because that's the big problem.
Yes, people translate to avoid mistakes, but this creates more mistakes.
And it makes speech robotic.
Have you ever heard someone speak English very correctly but very slowly?
Yes, many times.
That's translation. And have you heard someone speak quickly but with small grammar mistakes?
Also many times. That's fluency. And people prefer the second one. Fast, natural speech with small errors sounds much better.
Think about native speakers. They make mistakes too.
All the time. They break grammar rules constantly.
But they speak confidently.
I have a good story. When I was learning Spanish, I once said, "Estoy embarazado."
Oh no. For listeners who don't speak Spanish, that means I am pregnant.
Yes, I tried to say I am embarrassed.
But you said I am pregnant. Amazing.
I wanted the earth to swallow me. But guess what?
People laughed with you, not at you?
Exactly. And after that moment, I became less afraid to make mistakes.
Mistakes make you human. And humans connect better through imperfection.
You know, many learners imagine English speakers judging them.
But English speakers are usually impressed when someone speaks a second language.
Yes, because learning a second language is hard. They respect effort.
So if you speak imperfectly, nobody cares.
Exactly. People care more about communication than grammar.
And this mindset helps you stop translating.
Let's give listeners some practical tricks. Not vocabulary, just habits.
Sure. Here's one. Answer questions quickly, even if the answer is simple.
Yes, speed trains fluency more than accuracy.
Another, shadowing. Listen to English audio and repeat immediately.
No time for translation.
And speak to yourself out loud.
Or silently, but keep the voice in English.
Here's a secret. Fluent speakers don't translate because they don't think in words first. They think in images.
Yes, this is so important. If I say apple, you don't imagine the letters APPLE. You imagine the fruit.
Exactly. You think of a picture, and pictures are universal. Pictures don't need translation.
So if you want to stop translating, connect English to images, not to your native language.
For example, instead of thinking dog equals your language word equals dog, think dog right away to an image of a dog.
The brain is very fast with images. It slows down only when we force it into language conversion.
Emotions also play a role. When you connect emotions to English, fluency increases.
Yes, if you only study English as a school subject, you think too academically.
But if you laugh in English, think in English, feel something in English,
Then English becomes a part of your identity, not a translation task.
exactly.
We've already talked about mindset, fear, habits, and how the brain works.
And in the next part, we're going to look at real speaking situations.
Yes, conversations, reactions, fast responses, and how to speak without preparing.
We'll also talk about breaking free from perfect grammar pressure.
So stay tuned. Part 2 is coming next. Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 of our episode, Stop Translating, Start Speaking in English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. In part 1, we talked about the mindset behind translation and why thinking in English is essential for fluency.
Today, we're going to get more practical.
Yes, we want to show real speaking situations where learners usually translate and how they can break that pattern.
Let's start with everyday conversations. One of the biggest challenges learners face is responding quickly.
Speed is a huge indicator of fluency, not grammar perfection.
Absolutely. And learners often freeze because they're not comfortable with spontaneous speaking.
Let's create a simple example. Imagine someone asks you, "How was your weekend?"
Most learners understand the question immediately, but they don't answer immediately.
Right, their brain begins translating. Weekend. How was your? What did I do? I need the correct grammar.
And then pressure appears, and the student begins thinking, should I say it was good? Should I say I enjoyed? Maybe I need past tense.
Meanwhile, the conversation partner is waiting.
And the waiting creates more anxiety.
So the solution is answer simply and quickly. No translating.
Yes, use short English reactions first. Something like, pretty good, or it was nice.
Then, once the pressure is gone, you can add more details.
Exactly. Fluency is about keeping the conversation moving.
One mistake learners make is thinking they need a full, perfect sentence before speaking.
Yes, they plan the whole answer before opening their mouth.
And while planning, they're translating.
Native speakers don't plan full sentences either. They speak naturally, piece by piece.
If you listen carefully to native conversations, they're full of pauses, fillers, half sentences, corrections.
Let's demonstrate that.
Sure. Ask me a question.
Okay. Jack, what did you do yesterday?
Yesterday, well, I worked most of the day, and then, I don't know, I just relaxed. Nothing special.
That's a very natural answer. It's not perfect, but it's completely fluent.
Yes, no translation, no planning. I just talk.
And learners can do the same if they let go of perfection.
Perfection is actually the enemy of fluency.
Let's talk about reactions, not sentences, reactions.
Yes, reactions are the heart of fluent conversation. Things like, "Oh, really? No way! Are you serious? That's great!"
These are natural, they're quick, and they require zero translation once you're used to them.
When you use reactions in English, your brain stays in English mode.
Exactly, and this reduces the urge to translate.
Let's show how reactions work in a conversation.
Sure, I'll say something surprising.
Okay.
Jack, I bought a new motorcycle yesterday.
No way! Seriously? That's awesome! What kind?
See? Quick reactions, no translation.
Reactions help your brain switch to automatic mode.
I want to talk about something we call internal subtitles.
This is when learners hear English, but inside they hear a translation.
Yes, like your brain automatically puts subtitles in your native language.
And it slows you down.
It's like listening to two audios at the same time.
And the solution is to train your brain to listen for meaning, not words.
When you hear English, don't try to translate every word. Try to understand the general message.
Even if you don't understand everything, it's okay.
This is exactly how babies learn languages. They don't understand 100% of the words.
But they understand the message.
Let's create a scenario. You're meeting someone for the first time.
And they say, "So, tell me about yourself."
This question terrifies many learners.
Yes, because they try to translate a full monologue.
But your answer can be simple.
For example, "I'm from Colombia. I work in marketing. I love traveling."
Short ideas, natural flow.
The mistake people make is trying to create a perfect introduction with long sentences.
When really simple English communicates better.
And more naturally.
Let's give some training techniques. Again, not vocabulary, just habits.
One technique is narration. Describe what you're doing in real time.
Like, I'm making breakfast, I'm opening the fridge, I need a spoon.
Even if it feels silly, it trains automatic English thinking.
Another technique is micro-conversations with yourself.
Like asking yourself questions and answering them immediately.
For example, what should I do now? I need to call my friend.
Quick questions and answers help remove translation completely.
A big reason people translate is because they want to sound smart.
Yes, people think, "I want to sound intelligent in English."
So they search for complicated words.
And while searching, they translate.
But here's the truth. Fluent English is simple English.
Native speakers prefer clear, simple speech.
When you use simple sentences, your English sounds more natural.
And more confident.
You know what the panic loop is?
Oh, yes. It's when someone asks you a question, your brain panics, you can't find the words, and then the panic gets worse.
Exactly. The solution is immediate speech, even if the speech is simple.
Let's role play the panic loop and how to break it.
Sure, ask me a question.
What do you think about the new project?
Wait, let me think. Project, new, mm, mm, interesting question. I think it's exciting. I like the idea.
See, even if you don't know exactly what you want to say, you can begin speaking.
And once you begin, the panic disappears.
One of my favorite teachers used to say, good speakers speak, great speakers correct later.
Yes, if you're always editing before speaking, you'll never be fluent.
Editing comes after speaking.
Fluency comes from forward motion,
Mistakes are part of the motion.
and correcting too early kills fluency.
Let's simulate a real conversation learners might have. Something simple, like small talk.
Great idea, and we'll do it naturally, how real native speakers talk.
Okay, here's the scenario. Two coworkers chatting before a meeting.
I'll be Sarah, you be Michael.
Perfect.
Morning, Michael. How's it going?
Pretty good. A bit tired, but okay. You?
Same here. Coffee didn't help today.
Yeah, I know the feeling. Busy week?
Oh, super busy. I had like 5 deadlines.
Wow, that's rough.
Yeah, but almost done.
Nice. Weekend plans?
Probably just sleep.
Best plan ever.
See? Very simple, very natural.
No long sentences, no formal grammar, no translation.
And native speakers talk like this all day.
Yes, fluency is not about complexity, it's about flow.
Flow means keeping the conversation moving, even with simple words.
Flow is what makes people say, "Wow, your English is so natural."
And you don't need big vocabulary for flow.
You need confidence, quick reactions, and the ability to stay in English mode.
Let's talk about excuses, because learners have many.
Oh, yes, like, I need more vocabulary before I speak.
Not true. You can speak with what you already know.
Another one, native speakers won't understand me.
They will. And if they don't, they'll ask questions.
Another excuse, I can't think in English.
You can, but you haven't trained it yet.
It's a skill that grows with use.
People underestimate the brain. It's incredibly flexible.
Yes, if you train your brain to think in English for even 5 minutes every day, it gets easier.
The brain loves repetition. It wants to save energy.
And thinking in English actually saves energy in the long run.
Translating is much harder for the brain.
We've covered a lot in this part. Reactions, flow, excuses, panic loops, natural speech.
And in part 3, we're going deeper. We'll talk about speaking under stress, speaking with native speakers, and sounding more natural.
Plus, we'll discuss advanced techniques to remove translation completely.
So stay tuned. Part 3 is coming up next. Welcome back to the final part of our episode, Stop Translating, Start Speaking in English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack.
In part 1 and 2, we covered mindset, natural reactions, flow, and breaking the panic loop. Now, we're taking it to the finish line.
Yes, part 3 is about real-world situations where learners often fall back into translating.
And we're giving strategies to avoid that and stay in English mode.
Let's start with the hardest situation, speaking under pressure.
Job interviews, presentations, phone calls, these moments make learners go back to translating.
Because they want to avoid mistakes.
But actually, pressure moments require less thinking, not more.
Exactly. Under pressure, you must simplify your language.
Short sentences, clear ideas, no trying to impress.
Let's demonstrate. Ask me a job interview question.
Emma, can you tell me about your strengths?
Normally, learners translate here. They think of big words, but a simple answer works fine. My strength is communication. I enjoy connecting with people and solving problems.
Perfect. Simple. Natural.
Zero translation needed.
Now let's talk about conversations with native speakers. This is where learners panic the most.
Yes, because native speakers talk fast, use slang, and don't always articulate perfectly.
But here's the truth. You don't need to understand every single word.
Not even native speakers understand every word of every conversation.
Exactly. The goal is to understand the idea, not every word.
And if you don't understand something, you can simply ask.
Let's show how natural it can be.
Start a conversation quickly.
Hey, have you seen the new policy update?
Sorry, what do you mean by policy update?
The new rules for remote work.
Oh, okay. Yes, I saw that.
Easy. No translation, no shame.
Asking for clarification is a skill, not a weakness.
Another common problem, learners want to say a word they don't know.
And instead of describing it in simple language, they freeze.
Yes, they try to translate the exact word.
But fluent speakers often explain things even when they forget the word.
Let's demonstrate. I'll pretend I forgot the word helmet.
Okay, go ahead.
I need that thing you put on your head to protect it when you ride a motorcycle.
And I understand immediately. No translation necessary.
It's completely natural. Description is part of fluency.
Here's a big one. Switching back to your native language during English practice.
Yes, many learners speak English for 5 seconds, then go back to their language when they struggle.
But that breaks fluency training.
Exactly. Fluency is built by staying in English even when it feels hard.
Especially when it feels hard.
Let's create a challenge example. Imagine you don't know the word ingredient.
And instead of switching languages, you describe it.
Like the things you need to cook a dish.
Yes, that's how you stay in English.
Let's talk about thinking ahead. Not translating, but predicting.
This is what native speakers do. They anticipate the direction of the conversation.
So they're never waiting in silence.
They're mentally ready.
Learners can do the same.
For example, if someone says, "What did you do this weekend?" you know what topics might follow. Weather, activities, friends, rest, travel.
Predicting helps your brain prepare ideas, not translations. Chunking is another tool that helps remove translation.
Chunking means using English phrases as one unit instead of translating word by word.
For example, I don't know. You know what I mean? Let me think. I guess so.
These become automatic if you repeat them often.
And automatic phrases stop the translation habit.
Many learners say, "I'm afraid of making mistakes."
But mistakes are the path to fluency.
Let's give a real example. Say a learner wants to say, "I didn't went."
It's incorrect, but understandable.
And if you keep speaking, your brain learns through use.
You only improve by speaking imperfectly many times.
Translation tries to prevent mistakes, but in reality, it prevents growth.
Here's a technique that really helps: the no pause challenge.
Yes, speak for 1 minute without stopping.
No translation, no editing. Just talk.
The topic doesn't matter. Your day, your plans, your favorite food, your mood, anything.
When you remove the option to pause, your brain adapts fast.
It learns to think in English because it has no time to translate.
Another problem is listening to fast English and feeling lost.
Learners think, if I translate, I'll understand better.
But translation makes you slower.
Instead, you should aim to understand the rhythm.
Don't catch every word. Catch the idea.
That's how you train real listening.
Let's role-play ordering food, a situation where many learners panic.
I'll be the cashier. "Hi, what can I get for you today?"
Hi, can I get a chicken sandwich, please?
"Sure. Meal or sandwich only?"
Just the sandwich.
"Anything to drink?"
Yes, a small iced tea.
"Great. That'll be $7.90.
See? Simple, natural.
And no translation needed at any point.
This is a big fear for many learners. What if you don't understand the question?
But native speakers also ask for repetition all the time.
Absolutely. It's normal human communication.
Here are natural ways to ask again. "What was that? Can you repeat that? Sorry, I didn't catch that."
These keep the conversation in English instead of panicking and translating.
Fluency isn't just about speaking. It's about sounding natural.
And sounding natural comes from tone, rhythm, and simplicity.
Many learners speak like they're reading from a textbook.
Yes, too formal, too stiff.
Let's compare. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket. It was very crowded. I brought vegetables, fruits, and bread. The experience was unpleasant.
Yesterday, I went to the supermarket yesterday. It was packed. I just grabbed some veggies and bread. Not fun.
The natural version flows better. It's not perfect English, but it's real English.
One powerful technique is stop imagining your native words and start imagining pictures.
Yes, fluent speakers imagine scenes, not sentences.
For example, if I say beach, you imagine the sand, the water, the sun.
Not the translation.
Pictures help stop the translation habit.
Something surprising. Silence is okay.
Yes, even fluent speakers pause to think.
Pauses don't mean you're translating. They can mean you're considering your idea.
The key is keeping your mind in English during the pause.
When you pause, think the next idea in English, not in your native language.
If there's one message we want listeners to remember, it's this.
Fluency is thinking in English, not speaking perfectly.
Exactly. You don't need perfect grammar. You need automatic English.
And automatic English comes from practice, not translation.
Speak more, translate less.
Speak first, fix later.
Use simple sentences.
Focus on flow, not perfection.
And most of all, trust yourself. You can think in English.
This is the end of our 3-part episode, Stop Translating, Start Speaking in English.
We hope it helps you break the translation habit and build real fluency.
And remember, fluency starts the moment you stop translating.
Until next time.
Both, thanks for listening.